Can you do me a favor?
No. Yes.
Maybe. I'm taking everything you say seriously right now. I'm very sensitive.
I'm very sorry.
You're going to make your boyfriend and your storyteller cry.
I don't want my storyteller to cry.
You don't want your storyteller to cry, because that's when Kane shows up.
Yes. Okay, I'm very sorry. Let's go to Pound Town.
Episode 3, 4, like, because
I don't know,
we missed
27.
We're on episode 4, session 4, actually, and I named episode 3 Too Many Dead People. Because Whistler is starting to realize that there's some shit going on in his little section of heaven that he was unaware of.
I think we're all getting to that same...
Such as 2 new embraced vampires that no one told him about.
One of them happened last Tuesday.
Something like that.
I don't know nothing about this.
No idea.
So, each of you, just to catch up where we are, we're continuing from last session. So we're going to go ahead and say it's pushing midnight. So the night of June 11th going into June 12th, 2022. Might as well keep the year in that. And each of you have been sent a message, or at least extended an invitation in some fashion, to go to a theme restaurant in St. John City, which is right over the bridge. It's actually where that Anarch coterie completely obliterated Constancia. Around that same area. You're going to... And St. John's is actually interesting. It's very much the theme park of Portland, Oregon. There's a lot of churches and stuff over there, yes, because that's where a large religious community settled when they were first turning it into a city. But there's like the Hansel and Gretel, which is a restaurant over there that is Grimm's Brothers themed. There is a lot of theaters and independent brewing companies and things like that. It's a very hipster-filled location as well. Some residents of Portland call St. John's Little Seattle because of the number of hipsters. They also call it Christmas Land on occasion due to the fact that they literally have a parade for something every other week. Place is kind of nuts. You guys have been invited to Frankie's Place. Frankie's Place is a Frank Sinatra themed high-scale restaurant. It holds 5 Michelin stars. It's actually a very popular place. It is famed for having a very renowned chef, and for having live look-alike performers of Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Frank and
Lookalikes, eh?
yeah. No, they don't. It is legit lookalikes. It's not immortal celebrities showing up and performing.
We'll see.
That's what Vegas is for.
Thank you very much.
But one of the big things that it's also known for is that when it closes around midnight every night, the owner, by the name of Dominic Putinesca, gets up in front of all of his guests and sings Frank Sinatra's My Way every night. That's just how he ends it. That's his closing time. So, Hattie, you and Dan of the Dead, Daniela, I don't know what you're calling her, have separated ways. Danny had to go run off and check in with someone before she headed over, but she said that she'd meet you at Frankie's place.
Okie doke.
Does anybody else have anything to do before they head to Frankie's place?
I gotta call Moses.
You do, because Moses is still probably heading towards Sal's place. Towards the Putinesca Brothers auto dealership. There's actually a lot of Putinesca-owned places. It's spread out. Portland's really big, so like people don't notice it. But yeah. Yes.
When did I receive this invitation?
You received this invitation probably around 11 o'clock or so. And you already explained your process to arrive.
I understand that. However, I received the invitation after I prepared for simply going out to meet with somebody. I did not prepare for a high-level event.
Not true. Not true, because in the video that I just got done editing, you got the invitation.
Okay, that's what I'm confirming.
And then you put on your French frock coat and all the things that you did to arrive.
Okay, that's good then. That's what I was checking.
So don't worry, we don't have to do an arrival roll,
Okay.
which is now canon in our
Yes,
game.
I wasn't certain if I had prepared for this event or
You did.
simply to go get information about the Jimson.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then I do believe that I am...
You got the
prepared
invitation
to-
after you got back from getting the invitation about the Jimson.
So then I do believe that I am...
What is your
Prepared to-
mode of transportation? Out of curiosity, I never thought about
How else will you arrive?
what Levy is actually driving, or
Getting driven on.
I don't know, I got some money. I could own a car or something.
you do have some money. You could own a car. You could call an Uber. Call a cab.
Cycle.
It's a lot easier for vampires to get around nowadays. You definitely have the money to own something for yourself, though.
Yeah.
Don't know why I see Levy on a moped.
That's honestly kind of the direction I was going with, some kind of little bikey type
A
thing.
Vespa.
Yeah,
Probably is a
something
Vespa,
from
actually.
something from Italy,
It's imported, it's vintage.
Ciao.
Yep.
like 1960s
With your
Vespa
helmet.
Cruiser.
Got like a little helmet. I prepared my hair so that when it comes out of the helmet, it will just like poof right up into the perfect I didn't try
Quaff.
coif.
Making sure you're properly coiffed
I
before
am.
you arrive. That's great.
So I'll take my little Vespa that apparently I have
Okay.
over there. It's black.
Black Vespa. It's better
With
than the
yellow
baby
stripes.
powder blue than they usually come in. So
Black is the new black.
okay, so you're heading over the bridge
I'm doing something.
on a
I guess.
Vespa, right?
What's the weather like?
It's summer in Portland, so it's actually pretty nice.
Okay.
It would be warm if it wasn't for the fact that the Columbia rivers and the Willamette River just kind of like they come together, create like this perfect comfort zone in the areas. What about Gramps?
The caddy, obviously.
Okay, I meant more along the lines. Is there anything you need to do? You said
Oh
you
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
call
Well,
Moses.
I was needing to call Moses.
Okay.
To birth him.
Tommy will go ahead and ring him up for you on his phone. So, like, after a couple seconds, you hear Moses' voice coming through the speakers in your caddy. Yes, sir.
Moses.
Yeah.
It's been a change of plans. We got done over here at Sal's faster than I thought we would.
Okay.
So we're headed on over to this place called Frankie's Place. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, it's Sonny's place.
Sonny's. Oh, right. It's Sonny. Well, anyway, I need you to just swing on by there instead.
Okay.
I'll buy you dinner.
Sounds great.
Okay, I'll see you soon. Drive safe.
All right. Okay. Anything else on your end? No. All right. I understand that you were not here. Valentino was working with counseling people, I believe, correct, at the funeral home. Well into the night, doing late night prayers. And is there anything on detail you want to talk about with that?
Not on the top of my head.
Okay. Since you were not here last week, I do need a rouse check from you. Everybody has received those invitations.
Let's go.
Is everyone just arriving then?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna
Some more than others.
leave. I would leave to head that way with, I don't know what time it was, I forgot, but I would aim to be there 5 minutes early.
5 minutes early?
Yeah.
Okay. You have time. You definitely have time to finish arriving and then arrive 5 minutes early. After your clients leave the funeral home, you should be able to get there as well on time. So this one is attempting to arrive 5 minutes early. Our dear Levy is attempting to arrive 5 minutes early. Does anybody else have a specific time they're trying to show up, or are you just actually gonna go?
We're gonna wait in the parking lot for Moses to show up.
Oh, okay.
It's Mike
Gives
staying
us-
or coming with me?
Mike was not mentioned on the invitation.
Then he'll probably stay behind, right?
Gives us a minute to look over the area too. See who's coming. Who's going.
Okay.
You pretty much wear tux and ride the bike over there.
Wear a tux and ride
It's
your
been
motorcycle.
done. It's been done.
No, I've seen it. What about Hattie? Anything special that you need to handle before you're heading over?
Just closing up the shop.
Okay. What time does your Black Hat books close?
Honestly,
Yeah.
whenever she feels like it.
Nope.
It's kind of just a place where people can wander in, spend some time, off the streets.
Okay, so yours is the kind of place that has like the hours of operation with ish written next to it. Okay.
We'll just put a question mark.
Anybody in the neighborhood, I presume, would already know that.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
she has, like, an actual job.
Yeah. All right. So Frankie's place, the way that it's set up, it's a really nice restaurant. There is some outside seating. The front is actually pushed back quite a bit. The front doors are actually pushed back quite a bit because they've got a almost like a high dining patio out front. By this time, when you guys arrive, the servers, who are all just impeccably dressed in very nice white dress suits, red bow ties, red cummerbunds, tuxedo pants, glaringly over-polished shoes, and immaculate hair, are cleaning up outside. The cloth napkins are coming off the table. The silverware is being picked up. The busboys are running around picking up whatever leftover plates and stuff have been set up out there. And the fading tones of My Way can be heard every time someone opens the front door to walk out. At the exact same time, and strangely enough, in tune with the live performance that's happening inside, you can hear Frank Sinatra also singing it over the speakers outside on the patio. Patio is very nice. It's got a small waist-height iron fence around it. Topiaries, potted topiaries, sparsely placed around the area. Minimal privacy, and an interesting lattice work of outside lighting that's just hanging from strings above all the tables. So it's actually quite charming. I can think this would probably be a place where Paul would want to hang out when he'd want to hang out. No? Just over there shaking your head no?
No, this is Sonny's place.
Well, I'm not saying that you'd want to hang out with Sonny. I'm saying this is the kind of restaurant you may have wanted to go to.
This is the
that's
atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you'd want to hang out with Sonny. I understand that you're not that big of a fan of the Sonnies. That being Sonny Red and Sonny Black. Sonny Black is a little bit more tolerable. He's not as obnoxious as Sonny Red. But he does tend to be rude to most of the families outside of the Giovanni and the Puttanesca themselves. So you arrive 5 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this little Italian Vespa pull up with this human cartoon character. Do you find a parking space? Do you park on the sidewalk? It is a rather tiny little bike that you're tooting around on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find a picture of a black Vespa.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take up a full parking spot nearish the
Okay.
door.
There's a lot of people who are in the process of leaving, so that you're going to find a spot relatively easy.
Okay.
There's one car, Cadillac, that's off to one corner that has two men sitting in it, an older
Behind the
gentleman
illegal ass window tent.
behind the illegal ass window tint.
I probably don't notice that, honestly.
Yeah, with a legal ass window tint, you probably don't notice.
Yeah. I mean, I probably don't even notice
Nah,
that there is a Cadillac.
Okay.
Honestly, I would say you need, I would need to do an awareness check because I'm not inherently,
Yeah, with all the cars,
yeah. That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
even
saying.
gonna bother.
I would just be pulling up, park, and
Okay. As
I'm going to a place.
As you're parking and so many other people are leaving, there's another motorcycle, an actual motorcycle, one that looks like it could probably eat yours, pulls up.
Just to say the model if people want to look it up.
Yeah, sure. What do you have?
It's a Harley Davidson Road King 2018.
Nice. That is a beautiful bike. That is a beautiful
I
bike.
even sent you the picture already too.
Nice. Okay.
So this is the beast that you see coming in.
That's a beast compared to what I'm scooting in on.
I love the concept. The guy who drives up on a motorcycle in a tux. You're probably still wearing your motorcycle jacket over the tux.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay.
And it says pretty much Mayans, the Assassins of God.
Okay.
And Hattie, how do you get to Frankie's place? I don't know what your
About how far is
transportation-
it?
It's the way of. I think the way of looking at this would be from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like going from downtown Fort Myers to downtown Cape Coral.
Yeah.
So several miles over a bridge.
I'm gonna start bugging my neighbors and somebody's going somewhere.
Okay. I'm going to need a charisma and politics roll from you, please.
Okay. Let me find all those things.
Do not forget your hunger. And I will take your number dice out of there for you.
Stop taking all my dice.
Just your numbers. You don't need those.
That's crazy. What are you talking about?
Like
Oh,
close to the floor.
okay. So that's 4, 5, and 6 successes.
Someone's giving me a ride.
It is not hard for you
that's
to find a
yeah,
ride.
Only
Okay.
not
You have a
Great.
person
Don't be bitches.
There's a person
Neighbors
down the
friends.
road. You know, it might be actually a one of your straggler customers who's just always at the store.
So that's a
Who lives in St.
that's
John,
a little
and they're happy to give you a ride because you're always nice to them. Let them hang out later than usual.
Awesome
What year?
sauce. So yeah, that's happening.
Checking it out.
So, all of you
We're
have,
talking the 60s.
in your own fashion,
for sure.
arrived. All right, so you all arrive. Everyone's leaving. Does anybody go in? Are you all just lingering outside?
I get off.
Invited.
El Dorado.
I get off my Vespa and I'm just I'm taking a quick kind of look around. So I mean, I assume
I'll
I
send
see
you a
him
picture.
coming up and
Nice.
barking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, motorcycle, what are you doing?
Getting off right now and walking in.
Okay, where did you park? There's a person with a little Vespa taking up a whole parking spot near the door somewhere. There's a Cadillac somewhere, and there's other cars moving about.
Is there a parking spot across the street?
You parking across the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find a place to park.
Yeah.
There's a local brewery. They're still open, but there's some parking spaces. Nobody goes to those things.
Okay. After then I don't really see him at all. I just walk
Well, I mean,
in.
you probably see him pull
Walk
up,
in, yeah.
but then walk across the street instead of actually parking in the parking lot.
Yeah. So I'll just saunter my way into the
Okay.
doors.
As you're getting out of the car, Hattie,
Yes.
you will notice Levi. I'm so
All of it.
confused
I
on
don't
your
know.
name. You are. You would notice
Leviosa.
Levy here walking into the restaurant. This is the person that your sire was talking about earlier this night. About the person who owns the shop that they can't pronounce the name of.
Oh,
They're apparently embraced and no one told him.
okay. I know. Okay. And you are wearing that tuxedo that has
This
one-
magnificent.
Yeah. Okay, I remember. Yes.
It's an asymmetrically cut, apparently like French frock coat with a bow and tails, and
But I had one tail.
Fondant.
it has a tail. No, it has
Does
two.
it have two?
It's just asymmetrically cut.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that works. Don't ask me to.
One's
actually,
longer than the other.
Yeah. But it forms like a nice diagonal line if you put the tails together, but one is pointy.
You've
Yeah.
never met a Toreador you liked. I would assume. I'm just saying.
And a kilt. And
Romo cave, you know, I'm sure.
hair that looks like it's designed to look like I just woke up.
Yeah, this
Um,
person obviously put a lot of effort into looking like they did nothing with their hair.
Blush of life and makeup on top of that to augment I are human.
Did you roll for blush?
I did, or that's why I'm at 2 hunger.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Do if I need to update it?
No.
I
It
can't
lasts,
remember.
it
if
lasts the night.
Does it?
It lasts the night in the system, which I love. All right. So there is some instrumental music playing as people enter. Are you just gonna? You're waiting outside for Moe's, correct? Okay. So as the three of you enter, Your Nobody Until Somebody Loves You instrumental is playing over the sound system. There's probably about half a dozen workers in here. People rolling silverware, preparing for tomorrow. People cleaning up plates, picking up wine glasses. There's a few people sitting at a table counting tips and smoking cigarettes and laughing and enjoying themselves. I mean, you know Sonny.
Yes.
You know Sonny. He's done a couple pickups for you.
A few pickups and a few drop-offs.
Yeah, a few pickups and a few drop-offs. That's a very awkward thing when you work in a funeral home. I'm sure you've seen the Sunnies before. There's Sunny Red and there's Sunny Black.
Okay.
Sonny Black is... At first, it was hard to remember who was who. But Sonny Black is just like Ed the Hyena as a vampire. He's just obnoxious. He laughs at everything that's inappropriate. Every bad quality that you can think of that the Giovanni had fits into this obnoxious, violent person. They call him Sonny Red because no matter what job he gets sent on, he's going to come back with blood on him.
Okay, then.
Sonny Black is called Sonny Black, sometimes called the Void, because he gets the job done and no one ever hears about it again.
Do I have any reason to ever socialize with any of these
No.
people? Well, then
No.
there it is.
I could see you just not wanting to be around the Puttanesca. The Giovanni in general are probably not your favorite people.
That's
As
probably
someone
fair.
of the Zametti line. Over the decades, there may have been one or two, hey, let's screw with these people from your side.
Fair. Sounds good.
He does like to play pranks.
Especially
Every
when
once in a while.
politics and families involved, she kind of just follows his lead.
Yeah, he's been better behaved since he's taken over leadership of the family in Portland, and all of the Hecata in the city know that Whistler is in charge, but all of the kindred outside of the Hecata believe that Anya is in charge. So, back outside, Moses eventually pops up in his overindulgent Lamborghini, which he's owned for a year or so now. He obviously does not know how to drive the thing. He never has. It makes god-awful sounds when he tries to put it in park. A grinding sound that you're like, how is that still running? Sal has simplified.
You know how much
this
that
car
boy spends on having that thing rebuilt all the time.
You know how much
Not
I
right.
spend on making sure his parking tickets don't go through?
Bless his heart.
Can we start blessing his brain?
I think it's too late for that one.
Yeah. So Moses gets out. He leans on the caddy, knocks on your window.
Fuck.
Hey, Gramps.
Moses, did you bring it?
Yes, I did. He leans back over into his car and pulls out a couple of plastic bags from various stores.
It's the weirdest stuff.
Yeah, weirdest collection of items. Fog juice from a party store, a rain gauge from a Home Depot, just a bunch of odds and ends here and there. There's probably about 8 or 9 different ingredients, and I'm using that in quotes, ingredients, and also that legal pad that had all of them on it from your desk.
Well, let's put all that in the back seat for now.
Yeah. He puts them in the
bring-
back seat. There's also another bag of Snickers in there that he...
Bring me my Snickers.
Yeah, it's in the bag. I bought you a new one. Okay, he...
Fork it over.
Okay, fine. He reaches back into your car, past you, grabs the bag of Snickers out of the bag he just handed you, and hands it to you. Said it was in the bag. Tommy's like, no, not in the car. You can't do that. No.
I can eat all the junk food I want.
Gramps, you're going to throw up all over the place. You can't hold that shit down anymore. Gramps! Okay, I'm going to need a...
Oh my
I'm
god.
going to need a stamina and composure check.
No, you won't.
Oh, can you?
I totally can.
You totally can.
I totally can.
Nice.
It goes all the way through, too.
Ew.
What?
Lifelike.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you sack of shit.
One of the benefits of
Tommy
being a
is still
vampire
freaking the hell out, but he's just watching
is not
you.
pooping.
Right?
It's a cloaca this time.
No.
The hell?
The
strain.
Zemitzi in the room says no.
The strain, man. The strain.
So,
want coffee?
yes, I
Yes,
would love
please.
coffee. I said I was going to get some. I got up and I walked in there and I don't remember what I did because I did not come back
You
with
walked
coffee.
right back.
Well, there's enough for probably 2 cups, so I'll bring you a cup because I love you.
Thank you.
David, I don't love you. Get your own.
Wow.
So,
Makes love.
Moses
All right.
just kind of looks at you. What do you want me to do now?
Let's go see if they'll feed you.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I like you.
Here, cool.
I know they're closing up, but they probably
I
got.
let you in my house, so that's something.
We'll see if they can be persuaded.
Cool. So, the three of you,
Yeah, that's
the 3 Milliner
enough
boys,
right there for you to have. You can brew more too.
Johnny is still over at the Penny Diners Club,
Taking care of business.
taking care of business with
This is
the
good.
with Anaroma. And so the 3 of you walk in. And same scene that I described with the way the inside of the business is. There's lots of white tablecloths everywhere with red coverings over the white tablecloths. It's just a very nice, formal, old-fashioned, like, Italian eatery kind of feel.
That sounds nice.
It is nice. It's very, very nice. However,
It's 5 stars nice, too.
it is 5 stars nice. You don't know if those 5 stars are earned or
Purchase.
or Putin-nested, as I'm
No.
going to put it.
Earned or not, they were paid for.
That's true.
Fair.
That's true. You actually, even if you earn them, you still have to pay for them.
Oh, is that so?
That is so.
Fun facts.
So, towards the back of the restaurant is a set of double doors. It's very nice. Glass with a very interesting glass etching on the glass of the entire Rat Pack. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., all of them. They're all there. And the way that the LEDs that are in the wooden frame of this glass door are set, it catches all of the intricate carvings in the glass so that all of those famous crooners are lit up. And
That's really neat.
Thank you. I just made that up.
I like it.
You should open your own restaurant.
And you are ushered by Sonny as you guys are all arriving. He introduces himself to each of you, those of you who he doesn't know. But he calls himself Dominic. He gives you his real name. And he says that the party's in the other room. And he takes you over to this wonderful door that has a sign over it that says the Rat Pack Lounge. And this is the VIP room of the restaurant. And it's very nice. It's got a stage, which is currently empty, aside from some very nice big brass band style equipment up top. You don't see room for amps or anything like that. It goes all off acoustic here. You see a bunch of very nice over plush booths. The room itself is immaculate and beautiful. The large table that's set for events, which is in the center of the room, has enough chairs for all of you and a couple others, as well as a couple of decanters of blood and some nice crystal glasses waiting for you. There's no waitresses, there's no servers of any kind in this room. But as Sonny's showing you in and saying that we're all going to sit at the middle, apparently, because he was just told about this. He says, please help yourselves. And you know, Paul, that the supply here comes from you. So, when you guys arrive in this room, it's just you at the moment. Sonny has run off to make sure that his servers are finishing up so they can GTFO as fast as possible. His words. Just in case there's no reason to have to not speak openly when we're having a meeting among family.
As Sonny's getting ready to head on there.
Yeah.
Now, is the kitchen open at all still? Because
Yeah, we got a few things going, getting ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
We usually do the soups the night before.
okay, because I was hoping we could rustle up a few steaks for, the boys.
What, for Tommy and Moses? Yeah, sure.
One for me too. As rare as you can make it.
All right. Sure, we can work that out. He looks to Tommy with, deep concern. He looks at the carpet with deep concern. But he walks up and over the last couple of months, Sonny Black, Dominic here, has really, he's upped the authority level in his actions. He used to be the guy who would go out and hang out and get drunk with Tommy and Moses and Johnny. He was one of the crew that would get sent out to do stupid stuff for Sal, stuff that Tommy would get wrapped up in. Somebody needed to disappear, called Sonny, that kind of thing. But when you tell him to get food, after he gets over the initial concern about the upholstery and the carpet and everything else that he's terrified is going to happen after you eat a steak, he walks over and he does one of the most authority-driven motions that you see towards Tommy and Moses. It's not an insult, but it is definitely something that you would see when somebody has become made. And that's, he walks over, he kisses them both on the cheek, and he slaps them both on the other cheek playfully. Not full on, hey, guess what, I got Bowden's at 3 now. Or anything like that. Just
He doesn't Will Smith.
yeah, no. Oh.
Too soon?
We're trying not to be political here. But no, he pats them on the cheek and he's like, I'll fix up something nice for you. And he disappears out of the lounge, leaving, I guess there's 3 of you, 1, 2, 3, leaving the 5 of you alone in this room with a few extra empty chairs around this table. Does anybody do anything now that you're coming
Take a
into
seat.
contact?
Look around.
I think Paul has seen Valentino a few times, because you handle the books for most of the Hecata holdings in the area. You've seen Paul. He's an accountant.
I don't even know how you call those kinds of hat.
Like the little green visor? Or what do you...
No, it's like the ones that what's her name wears?
When the Avalon wears?
Yeah.
Like one of those little shit kicker hats. I really don't know what they're called. Like a
Like a
little
newsy
newsstand
hat?
boy.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
It's black.
Okay.
Like he just tips the hat to you.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. Pizanov, right?
Yeah.
Sal was talking to me about you earlier tonight.
What's he?
He was saying some very nice things. But he also said that you had a line on some canned goods and that we should talk about that.
I'm always available.
Well, that's highly convenient then. Because we're working on shifting things around a little bit here in the city in terms of distribution. So we wanted to know what you might be able to come up with along those lines.
What do you need?
Preserved vitae, if you prefer me to be blunt about it.
Preserved vitae. As in us kind of VJ?
I doubt you can get a hold of that very often.
It's nearly impossible without doing something illegal.
Highly dangerous, immoral, yes, but illegal. Oh, worried about that. No, humans, come on.
In which sense we're talking about? Alive or dead?
A what?
Alive or dead?
Canned.
There's
In
a
a
difference.
bottle.
There's a difference between dead blood and alive blood.
Oh. I don't think there's that much demand for the dead stuff, but we'll see what we can do on that end. Most people don't like the taste.
You use, if you need to get by, that's what you use.
Yeah, but when you're scraping the bottom of the market, the margins are crap. That's a tale as old as time. It doesn't matter if you're selling inner tubes.
I don't know. I've seen pretty good people, some good, decent people actually come up with a really good vintage using dead blood.
I'm just saying, most people are going to retch that no matter what. So it's a niche product. Niche product? Fine, we'll fill that niche. But primarily, we're probably talking about live.
That might be kind of a problem with this new blood research center opening up.
With the research center?
In my opinion, it looks like competition to me.
It's in. I thought you had your hand in that.
We're looking into it.
Okay.
We have found some pretty interesting stuff about the people financing the place.
And who would that be then?
Some people that don't even have to do anything about that place. They mainly support marines research, and I'm just plant research, mushroom life.
Mushrooms and whales.
I know, yes. Stupid. Oh, and for
Wrote that
some
into your
reason
song.
they finance
Mushrooms
research.
and whales.
The cops?
Yup.
Mushrooms, whales, and cops.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's weird as fuck, doesn't it?
And now a blood center.
Mm-hmm.
So while this interesting conversation is happening on that side of the table, Tommy will walk up. This is rather handsome. Younger gentleman will walk up and introduce himself to the room that doesn't know him. Part of it. He introduces himself. He's like, "Hi, I'm Tommy Milliner."
I
Figured if we're going to be at a table together, we should probably know who we are.
Pleasure. Valentino pissing up.
Yeah, I've done a couple pickups for you.
Hattie.
Hattie. Oh, Hattie. Okay, cool. I'm sorry, I don't know
Thanks.
why we're here, so.
I don't know. Apparently to discuss business.
Apparently. And you are?
Levi.
All right.
That's
Funny how nobody's chatty all of a sudden.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're not involved with that, then you're trying to get involved, right?
Yeah. It's weird as fuck.
Yeah, it does sound like a eclectic set of interests they may have, but who are we to judge?
Apparently,
They're
The
talking
place
about
is-
that Tory trying to turn everybody into zombies. They just haven't figured it out yet.
yeah. What Hattie here saying?
what?
What?
But
What?
That place is being built in Ghost Central, I'm guessing you said?
Wait, like
Translate, should I say? You were bad at it.
like a
I'm sorry, I don't deal with ghosts or spirits.
place where the shroud is
like a
thin.
thin spot.
Yeah.
Thin is an understatement.
As in, it's already been ripped open.
That would be it.
Where is this?
The Blood Research Center currently being built.
That doesn't sound like
Used
a
to be
good
an old
idea.
plantation house back in the day.
And like I was saying to my new friend over here, it's being funded by somebody that funds the CERT for some fucking reason.
What, like the special services?
Yeah. The one that they had that problem with the anarchs recently.
You could say that they had a whole freaking city locked down for
That place blew the fuck up.
gas, man.
Yeah, it's being built on the same place, isn't it?
Mhm.
Wait, so
Every time something gets built there, something real tragic happens. Every time. It's ripped in every different dimension you can think of.
so those gas mains were like
That's not real.
That wasn't real. That was anarchs putting bombs.
There's no gas main
Anarchs?
issues.
what,
As saying,
Wait, time out. I know that question mark. That anarch question mark? That inflection?
okay.
Do you know about the sex?
I don't know.
Are you gonna
Did
have-
DeLuca?
No.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
No.
I was going off of
No.
out of character.
No, you're a retainer. That's what you are.
Oh, wow.
I am.
Tommy, are you gonna have the sex talk again?
oh boy, we're popping a cherry tonight.
Tommy
We're at the
Tommy
table.
leans over,
I don't see any food.
grabs.
You're about to.
Tommy leans over and grabs the one of the decanters off of the warming plate that it's on in the middle of the table, and a glass. And
I would have already
fills it
poured
up.
myself something and been drinking.
Yeah.
By the way, I forgot to say that earlier.
Okay. Anybody else?
Not yet.
Okay.
Can I go ahead and
Yeah, I'll get you cramps.
can I take away a hunger?
Yeah. Like while we're
While
here,
we're here. Yeah.
you'll satisfy a hunger.
Cool.
So, okay.
What? Like, wait, are you talking about? Weren't there like some kind of riots or something over this? There was like, I don't know, people, police something or other. Is that what this involves? Like
Are you
people, anarchs again, like.
So, okay.
Wait, the gas mains weren't real?
No.
Okay, so there's this guy that I know who works at the mental institution.
Okay.
Okay, and his Porter, he's like one of the doctors up there. Porter, he's a Kindred, and he's got a name for this. It's called Victim of the Masquerade. All right, so you understand that Kindred exists. You're drinking blood.
Yeah. I mean, like, is that the fancy word that we call ourselves?
Yeah. There's also
All right.
different factions. All right.
Okay, makes sense, right?
You
subfactions.
are here. You were invited, so I'm assuming you're a Hecata. Only
Bless
thing
you.
that you've heard of is Giovanni.
right.
That's it. Giovanni family
Yeah.
of vampires. Giovanni family of Kindred. You may have heard the word Kindred, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like,
Okay, like political factions of vampires. Okay.
okay.
So everybody at this table, I'm assuming you too, is a member of the clan Hecata. We're different families. I'm a milliner. I don't mean to oust,
Go ahead.
but Zametti, from what I understand. This is Valentino Pisanob. He's a member of the Pisanob family. My grandfather over there is Paul Milliner. And my two cousins, and my cousin over here, Moses, and our gentleman host Dominic over here is also a Puttanesca. All right, so think of it like a mob movie, all the different families and stuff. Okay, so we're all sitting at the table of the Hecata family, Hecata clan, And we pretty much don't politic. We try to stay out of that shit. It's none of our business. We've stayed out of it for a good 500 years at this point.
Just about.
So that's that. We keep our noses clean because we don't get involved.
Fair.
So the the gas main thing that was going on was actually
But hold on.
What?
But hold on. So, by you keep your noses clean, you actually mean that you know everything that happens everywhere. You just don't get involved with
Yeah,
it,
we just don't
right?
get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's the deal.
I
We're
can be
allowed
here.
to know. We just don't get involved.
Gotcha.
So
So all the hot gossip.
all the hot gossip. In fact,
Is this like why we're here, or is somebody spilling some
Maybe.
tea?
Probably.
we might be learning something
Oh.
tonight. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
I don't even know really who invited us. So
These are the mysteries.
these are the fucking mysteries. So
Gas main.
yeah, the gas main. So that gas main thing was a huge cover up because of a fight that was happening between two different factions. The Anarchs, who have a very large stake in this city, which is actually big on like they stay out of the New Orleans district.
Okay.
That's ours. That's just we made a deal with the prince fucking years ago.
Prince?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
We made a deal with the prince of the city years ago. They stay out of the New Orleans district. We don't get involved in anything else. That's it. That's how we stay out, but we keep living.
Yeah.
The Anarchs.
We don't give them reason to come over. And
Yeah.
we're
They stay out. We kick them out if we have to. That's about it. I've kicked a few out, but yeah, the Anarchs basically they don't believe in having any kind of major authority above them. They don't want to have any kind of massive organization. They don't want to have any laws like pushed down on them or anything. They want to self-police. And that would be great if they weren't fucking stupid.
Right. I mean, that always works so well.
It always works. It always works so well until somebody claims gas mains. But between them, from as much as I can put together, between the Anarchs and the Camarilla is this like centuries-old freaking secret society of like ancient vampires who basically divided up different cities and decided who's going to go where. They enforce vampire laws. Think of them as like the
So
vampire
wait,
Gestapo.
like, so are all secret societies actually like vampire run?
Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe.
Huh.
I think that's a
Some
little.
are werewolf run.
Humans are weird.
Wait, what?
Do we have to get into that shit?
They're
Okay.
weird.
Werewolves exist. That's
Why
a
not
thing.
let her know?
Him. But yeah.
I'm sorry, you're so pretty. I thought you were a girl.
Often people make that mistake.
So, yeah, I doubt it. That's really fucking full of us, truthfully, if we think that all secret societies are vampire run. But,
Oh yeah, they're not.
yeah, I seriously doubt that.
There's a say that goes, humans are fucking weird.
But, no, they...
All right.
There's
This is
a-
enlightening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the tip of the iceberg.
But, yeah, there's a lot. I'm not going to bore you with everything tonight.
Well, there's obviously other reasons we're here.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, that gas main thing, all the places that blew up were some kind of major Kindred hangout. Most of them Most of the Anarchs got hit pretty freaking hard.
So were they all places where the shroud is then?
Well, I mean, Shroud's probably taken a little bit of a hit at each one of those with the people who died there, but
Shit, talking about cover-ups, what about that freaking bar?
oh god, New Year's?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm still a little cloudy on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have been Kindred involved, but I don't know anything about it. The
This
50
was
people
a
that
gas leak.
yeah, the 50 people that died at that karaoke bar.
Fuck yeah.
That's messed up. Even for us.
Does anyone seriously think it's a coincidence that the hospital went up right after that?
Well, and
Right.
and then right after that, that Sabbat pack showed up. The Sabbat is another faction. They're like terrorists. They're not even really a faction. They're just terrorists.
So we've got anarchs,
Yeah.
terrorists,
Yes.
and
Camarilla, who are like the
The
bigwigs.
feds.
And then if you go like, I hear there's like Camarilla-like things in other parts of the world. Like there's the Ashira that had anybody met Black, Patricia Black?
Name sounds familiar.
She came in to our offices actually a few months ago. I didn't bother. She's a representative of a group called the Ashira. She was just coming in to make sure, because she had seen Kindred come in and out of the office. She wanted to make sure she knew what was going on. I told her it was a Giovanni thing, and she just left. That's a word you know.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So, it's, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. There's a relatively small number compared to the humans in the city, and that's pretty much what the Camarilla enforces, is to make sure that there's not too many Kindred in one city.
Okay.
It's like one for every 10,000 people or some stuff like that. Just to make sure that like we don't overfeed and all that. But the Camarilla, for the most part, leaves us alone.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. We got a couple cities that are ours. Vienna. No, not Vienna. Venice. We got Venice. We got Boston.
The underwater bastards?
The underwater bastards?
The guys that live underwater in Venice.
Oh, I heard about those. I thought that was just like some kind of fairy tale for like keep
According
neonates
to
in
a few people, apparently it's real.
keep neonates in line.
What are you talking about?
Really, really old members of our clan, like pre-Giovanni old, who live in the
Wait.
live in the
Underwater.
the canals in Venice.
That sounds like a child's nightmare story.
Premisines. Even the name's creepy.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
Sounds like premonition to me.
Anyway, well, I mean, that's why they're called Premisines, because they were the word. It's named after a place in like the Middle East, Cappadocia, Cappadocians. They were Cappadocians that supported Giovanni overthrowing the main clan.
What? You've lost
Okay,
me.
okay.
Old history.
Old history. I don't have to get into it. I
Old
just
family history.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, as it is right now, we're the Hecata, and apparently you've been invited, so welcome, I guess.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah. As he says that, that's when everyone notices that Whistler is here, at the table, sitting in one of the chairs, with his feet up on the table.
Do we have to roll for like surprise?
Excuse me.
Okay.
I mean, do you think your pissing off's gonna wet his pants or something?
Maybe.
I would,
It's got
I would like to make
it.
Nice.
I would like to make a joke, but I don't know if he actually like it or not.
Okay.
He's like, put a bell on him.
Yeah, he'll laugh. He'll laugh at that.
Dude, wear a bell. For real.
I remember one time someone had to wear a belt.
Not anymore.
Jesus.
So yeah, Whistler's here. You met him
Yeah.
earlier tonight. Around the same time, Mother Anya walks in. Mother Anya is a woman that you haven't met before. She's very pretty. She has very strong features. She's wearing a white ceremonial robe. I think, aside from you, she's probably the most out of place looking person when it comes to the dress. She finds a place and sits down. And other than that, Whistler looks up at a watch. He's got a pocket watch. Checks it out. It's getting late. We have no representative of the Pudinesca.
He's cooking steak.
He said he should be here soon.
I invited you all here. What? What? I can't do something dramatic?
That's why I'm smiling, because you played it off good.
No, I invited you all here because I have a few questions. We have specific things that are happening. Around this time, also, a couple of servers are walking in with trays with tops on them. And they set down a couple of plates. They bring you a steak with baked potato, some steamed broccoli, and a big old plate of spaghetti and meatballs for Moses, who just goes about it. He like undoes his napkin, tucks it into his shirt, starts getting in there. There's obnoxious high-pitched scraping of fork and knife on plates as they're cutting into the food.
God, I miss tacos.
He pushes everything away from his steak. He doesn't want it touching. Paul doesn't like his food to touch.
Yeah, because that's the weirdest part about this.
Okay.
Another person walks in. He's tall, he's thin, he's got this large beak of a nose. Hair slicked back. He's wearing he looks like he belongs at your funeral home. Either presenting merchandise or in a casket. Either one. He looks like he'd fit in. This, for those of you who are in the know, is a gentleman named Crow. He's representing the Harbingers of Asher. He finds a seat. He sits down. He still towers above everybody, even when he's sitting.
Sense the unseen. Just kind of looking around the room at each person.
Okay. There are many wraiths in this room. Some of them act like bodyguards, like to some of those who are sitting at the table.
Would he be able to look at whatever is attached for the homunculus? There's a wraith or something attached to it making it work, right? Just question.
I think it's more like an animated thing.
Doll, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it really has. I think you've reanimated
So there's supposed to
a
be
thing.
something.
It's like a pseudo zombie
Okay.
more than anything. I don't really. think it
Will
counts as a
he be
wraith.
able to look at it through Sense CMC? If it's in my pocket.
I think it would.
Like, would his pocket glow or something?
I don't think that you'd be able to see it through clothes, but I think if there was a homunculus on the table, you'd probably notice like a glare. Like it would show off, like almost like using auspex to look at thaumaturgy. Mm-hmm. Something like that. I definitely count Oblivion necromancy to work like blood sorcery when it comes to that kind of thing.
Okay.
So no, I don't think they'd be able to notice it in your
Making
pocket.
sure.
But
Making
thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. Crow sits down and looks at the table and just calmly says, "I was under the impression that Daniela was going to be here." Whistler just looks at you.
She said she had someone to check in with. Then darted off.
Crow just looks concerned for a second and then accepts the fact that she's not here. All right. Well, the reasons, plural, that I've asked you all to come here is first, there are two kindred in the city that I am unacquainted with.
There's one.
There's one. And Mr. Miller. Tommy stands up instantly. He just scoots his chair back and stands up. And Whistler looks over at him. I assume you sired your grandfather.
Are you chuckling?
Whistler breaks eye contact with Tommy and looks directly at Levi. Is there something I can help you with?
I've just never heard that, like, turn of phrase.
What turn of phrase?
That somebody sired their grandfather. That was just a interesting.
Well, you've
sound.
never heard of the Camarilla or Anarchs either.
This is true. There's a lot I haven't heard of. Sometimes it tickles my funny bone. My apologies if that's rude. I don't mean to be rude.
This is a grievous situation.
Understand.
And in other factions, Tommy and Paul here would be put to death.
That is a grievous situation.
Believe me, that's
As well as you and DeLuca.
I figured that was going to be the next set of words out of your mouth. Yeah. So I'm glad that we're not in another faction then, right?
Believe
Tommy.
me, that
Roll
thought crossed
something.
my mind at the time.
Tommy, please explain. And Tommy goes into a rushed, nervous description of events that happened last Tuesday. That you had been having several health complications while working diligently for the Hecata, which he throws that point in there as often as he can. And
I'm gonna aid another, so he gets an extra die here.
sounds good. And after a rather tense meeting with Anaroma involving Hecata involvement at the Penny Diners Club and possibly causing more revenue to flow in for us, both Alexander McArthur and DeLuca Giovanni came into his office, which eventually led to a heart attack. And in a panic, I embraced my grandfather. I did, however, ask permission from the topmost ranking Hecata I could find at the time, which was Crow. And he looks over at Crow. Whistler looks over at Crow. And you neglected to tell me that you graced Mr. Milliner here with permission? Crow picks up his glass of blood, takes a sip, blinks and turns his head very bird-like. You can see where he gets his name. I turned in a boon. I was given a boon for cleaning up the situation with Daniela. I gave my boon to Tommy, exchanged for another boon. And since the Hecata does not utilize the tradition of having a harpy, such as the Camarilla does, I was not exactly sure who I was supposed to turn that boon into. You'll be let in by Sonny Black.
Okay.
He greets you as the Puttanesca greet each other.
Oh, yeah.
Handshake, which turns into a hug, which turns into a kiss on each cheek. And he leads you through the restaurant into the back VIP room, which is called the Rat Pack Lounge. The doors open as this intense stare between the Whistler and Crow is occurring. And Sonny walks in with Lorenzo behind him. Finally, our Putinesca representative. Please, Lorenzo, take a seat. We have refreshments.
Alright, I grab a seat in the back.
It's a big round table that's
Okay.
set up. The oddities at the table include two people, one of them being Tommy's cousin. You know Tommy. Tommy's here.
Yeah.
Tommy's cousin Moses, who's eating a big plate of spaghetti and meatballs. He's human. Whatever. And also Paul Milliner here, who has a big rare steak. Who's getting a few odd looks from some of the kindred around the table. Moses is actually... Oh, thank you. Moses is actually... Tommy has him move to one of the tables towards the back of the room. Because he doesn't really need to be involved in this conversation anyway. So, Whistler says to Lorenzo, what you're walking in on right now is the discussion on how the Hecata might very well need to have a harpy or something like that so that people can get information to me.
Do we really?
Apparently. Because there have been 2 embraces recently without my knowledge. Paul, I've never met you, but I've seen your work. I know what you do for our family, and I appreciate it. I believe that you will be a welcome member of our now closer family than what you were before. The Milliners are very respected by me and everybody at this table. So, welcome to the family. Levy. DeLuca also received an invitation for here tonight. Have any idea where your sire is?
I saw him like earlier, right
Looking
after
for-
kind of beginning of the night.
Looking for Jimson weed.
Yes, that was what he was doing.
Has he asked you for anything else? Anything else strange? Because I'm assuming you were embraced for connections.
That does seem likely. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
How long? It's probably been about 4 months.
Okay, like it's been okay. I wasn't sure if this was weeks or
Yeah,
we
a
never
few
really
months.
discussed.
No, we said a few
timing.
months last game.
Oh, did we? Okay. It's July,
June.
It's June. Sorry, time is an illusion, and I really have always struggled with that.
Anya rolls her eyes. And as the most out there, spacey, hippie version of the Hecata that there is, that's interesting.
The torch is passed.
I just see internally her going, it's not me anymore!
I think it was like February.
Get that.
February.
No. Linear one.
I don't know. It was a while ago. Like I have the date written down on a calendar.
You've kept your head down.
I'll just do the reach.
Have you been told anything? Have you been taught anything?
Apparently not really. I mean, he kind of gave me the rundown on, how to keep myself fed and whatnot. And haven't seen him much, to be honest. And I've just been... I have a girl working my store now, and
You
Alba...
survived all on your own, basically.
Yeah, and I've just kind of
about
been
that?
doing my thing.
Whistler looks distracted while you're talking. Like, he stopped listening to you a few minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
He's still looking at you.
Yes.
But he's, like, angled his head in a direction as if somebody else was talking to him.
Yeah.
Since the unseen, there is somebody
I
else
was talking to him. Yeah. I was
There's
going to say,
a-
even without Since the Unseen, I would recognize that from my
Yeah.
own sort of things I've done.
There's a thin, uncomfortably thin, young black girl. She looks to be about 8 or 9 years old. Who's standing next to him. She's holding a little doll that doesn't have a face. She's wearing tattered clothes. And she looks sick. But he's listening to her. So, DeLuca embraced you because he found that you were a member of the Giovanni family distantly.
That lines up with what he said to me, yes.
Okay. I am not one to act like a Camarilla prince and pronounce death on those who are embraced. However, DeLuca does need to be spoken to. This is not your fault. It's not going to be your problem. As long as you continue with the staying out of sight, as you have been doing, to them, you are welcome here. And at this point in time, you are the representative of Clan Giovanni at this table.
All right. Thank you for not doing away with me.
You can come down to the store at some point. I'll lend you some books and you can catch up on all the ins and outs. And
That would be
histories.
helpful
Yeah.
because, yeah,
Yeah, because you're not getting
He's-
it home. So.
rather an absentee father, and you know, I had enough of that from my human existence, so I'd appreciate some knowledge about what this night is.
We'll get you caught up.
Again, the door opens. And a tall redhead with a very wide smile walks in. He's wearing a very nice pressed suit. Looks like a bank teller. Him with a very flamboyantly dressed young, beautiful black woman walks in. Wearing a leather jacket, jeans, really high boots. Her hair's all up in dreads. Lots of different colors of ribbons and beads and everything all worked into her hair. She's dressed up. She does not look like she belongs here. For those of you who know, you held this girl's funeral a few months ago. Valentino, you held this girl's funeral for her family after her body showed up in a abandoned motel.
I know who this is. Mm-hmm. I perfectly know who this is.
This is Scott Duncern walking in with the prince's child. And as they walk up, he tells her to go sit down at one of the back booths, and I'm going to see what they want to do, is how he puts it. He walks the long way around the table. He shakes a few hands, pats a few backs, and then sits down right in the chair next to Hattie. For those of you who have been embraced for a while, Scott is new. He's newly made. This guy has run the Portland Museum of Natural History for quite some time. And he's done a lot of favors for the Giovanni and the Hecata over the years. He has recently done two things, however, that has got him credit enough to actually have been accepted and embraced. First, he found something. He found a penny in his museum hidden among some of the artifacts of Portland, he found the penny that was used to decide the name of the city, whether it was going to be Portland, Oregon, or Boston, Oregon. The reason that's such a big thing is because one of the most powerful anarchs in the city, Colin Griffin, thinks he has that penny around his neck. He does not. He has a replica. It is believed, but hasn't been proven, but it's very much believed, if anybody has ever had a conversation with Colin Griffin, that this penny is very likely a fetter for one of the most powerful anarchs in Portland. This could turn the tides when it comes to dealing with the anarchs. And because of that, Scott has been accepted and embraced. The other thing that he did was finagled getting a hold of this woman's body, who is the embraced child of the prince, who is, and she's not walking around with it sticking out or anything like that, but apparently staked with a small splinter, which is Amitzi flesh crafted over, and no one in the Camarilla knows she's staked. And there's a wraith riding her, and has been acting as a spy in the Ivory Tower for months. So Scott's got some cred. And that's
Is
your,
rising number 2.
and that is your out of character information on the couple that just walked in.
Valentino, as soon as we walked in and passed him, he literally just gets up and just salutes him.
He shakes your hand. He's loving any kind of respect he gets. He hasn't heard the word fucking cannibal in a long time, and he's happy about that.
And I haven't called him that through the entire meeting so far.
He, as I said, walks a long way around the table, takes the chair right next to Hattie, does an annoying little and sits down. How's everybody doing tonight? And he smiles with this ear-to-ear grin. It's unsettling how wide this man's mouth is when he smiles. It looks like he could unhinge and swallow someone's head whole. And speaking of that, he also has several very sharpened teeth. Not fangs, just his teeth themselves look like they've been used to gnaw through bone for a very long time. Whistler just says, "Good evening, Scott." And our Duncern representative is here fashionably late as usual. So, 2 new, unsanctioned kindred being embraced. I want to try something. What I would like to attempt is something that the Camarilla and the Anarchs do not do. And that is communal education. I would like to make sure that those people who are brought into our clan thrive. I want to make sure that they are educated not by one individual who may have ulterior motives, that and the Hecata are a growing clan which is growing new traditions for of itself. The Giovanni for years bullied, enslaved, and harassed wraiths to do their bidding. We do not do that any longer. We cooperate with them. They work with us. I had a meeting with the Death Lord of Portland yesterday. Yes. A Death Lord. You heard me say Prince, correct?
Yeah, and I don't think I knew it.
Camarilla is one of the factions.
Right. Prince is top of that?
The top in the city.
Okay.
Camarilla is a worldwide faction.
Okay.
Prince is head of the city. Wraiths, ghosts, spirits, whatever you wish to call them, they have their own hierarchy on the other side. They have the ability to make everyone notice them. They have their own masquerade, in a way. So instead of enforcing our will over them, we work with them. And they are happy to work with us. because we can help them achieve things that they cannot achieve on their own. We can be their eyes, their ears, and their hands on this side of the shroud. So, with the respect for wraiths that the Zemeti are famous for, the ritualistic prowess that the Pisanobs were chosen for, the undying devotion and loyalty that the Milliners are known for, the determination and backhanded deals that the Putanesca are known for.
I was waiting to see how you were going to work that into a compliment.
And the financial stability that the Dunsurn supply. We can make the Hecata into something new that the Kindred world is not used to. Because we are running out of time. What?
I didn't hear Giovanni.
The Giovanni are being put in their place.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
The Giovanni, however, do have...
Noted.
The Giovanni do have a role. We will inform you and educate you on what happened. And the younger Giovanni are not being blamed for it. But the elder Giovanni have history. The Giovanni, however, have been what the other factions know for the past 500 years. If someone talks about the Clan of Death, the Anarchs go Giovanni. The Camarilla go the Giovanni. Same as with the Sabbat, the Giovanni. The Giovanni will remain as the face of the clan. So that we don't confuse them. Because a confused kindred is a stupid kindred. They're violent. They're not able to handle change well, especially those in the Camarilla. So no, I did not mention the Giovanni's attributes that can be helpful because the Giovanni have yet to show them to us.
Honestly, that tracks.
Scott kind of folds his arms and leans back and goes, it's because they're all fucking assholes.
You're at a dinner table.
They're all assholes? Is asshole okay? Is it the fucking that you had a problem with at the dinner table? Or were my elbows on it?
Scott. Don't begin your career this way.
Alright. I'll be good. Sorry, I don't care for the Giovanni. They don't belong here. And I think that the Camarilla and the Anarchs can just get over it. The Camarilla are doing just fine without the Gangrel and the Bruja. That's a change. That's a big change. The Camarilla have invited the freaking Assamites, or sorry, they've rebranded, or whatever, the Banu Hakim, into their circle. The Camarilla are talking about letting the freaking La Sombra in. I think they can handle change. So we don't need the Giovanni. And he'll lean over and put his hand out and go, no offense.
Don't touch me.
Wouldn't.
Alright, girls, you're both pretty sharp. You're saying?
There is no reason to fight. There are 10 major bloodlines, 10 major families that make up the Hecata. That is a larger diversity than any of the other groups. The reason I said we're running out of time is one of the other reasons that I didn't call you here to talk about it, but it is something that's coming up, and that is the fact that in 6 years, the laissez-faire act that the Camarilla has put on our clan is over. We are going to be stuck getting involved with them in one fashion or another. Now, Paul. Do you prefer Paul or do you prefer Mr. Milliner?
Mr. Milner, please.
Mr. Milliner.
I've only ever heard Whistler, so Mr. Whistler?
Whistler's good. Mr. Milliner, I understand that you are in the middle of a business dealing with the Penny Diners Club, which is not necessarily a Camarilla business, but Camarilla do have their hands in it. And I understand that you are handling that cautiously, intelligently, and responsibly. And I appreciate that. But that is exactly what we need to be doing.
It's a situation where there's some concern for the political balance, but if we've got a limited amount of time, as you called everyone's attention to, and we need to become more involved with them if we're going to understand exactly how the situation's going to be sitting from this point forward, is my understanding.
Exactly. You're the foot in the door.
Just so.
Thank you. Even though I didn't ask you to do that, this is a very large favor for the entire clan. I know how aggravating it is to deal with Anaroma. Next, Alicia. And out of the back corner of the room, at the table, cell phone gets put down, and that girl looks up and goes, I guess I answer to that now. The body behind us belongs to the Prince of the Camarillas' favorite child. Billy Smith, the Bruja Prince of the Camarilla, does not know what situation his child has landed himself in. The Anarchs nearly killed her. The Anarchs staked her, and a flesh crafter hid that fact from them. To avoid a war, Scott here, and he waves as if you didn't know he was there after the outburst you just had. Scott here had one of our newer members of the family. I don't know if any of you have met Mr. Potter yet. He's the lead coroner of the city. Had him place a wraith inside of the body. Alicia's still alive. She's staked. She's in torpor. Her neck has been snapped. Waking her, unstaking her, is going to be difficult. But it's something that should be done. I do believe that Salvador put that on you, Lorenzo.
Yes, you did.
Do you have any idea how you would handle a situation like that?
The only lead I have gotten is knocking at the door at the old flesh crafter's house, or possibly seeing a member of our family that's more knowledgeable about the human body, so we can try to remove that stake, and from there.
When you say the old flesh crafter's house, are you talking about the one on the mountain?
Yes.
I can guarantee myself that he does not practice that power. That's not a normal Zemitzi.
Nobody asked.
You can what?
I could probably handle that.
You can remove it without damaging the heart?
I'd say with a good 97% certainty.
Then maybe you two should work together on that.
Yeah.
You don't look too delicate.
He was given an order by his employer. I don't expect him to do much in this situation, but he should be involved.
Can you hold a light without smashing it?
I suppose I could.
If you need medical expertise,
I have that. That's why I offered.
if you need an assistance,
Do you have credentials, or do I just take your word for the fact that you can unstake the camera, the prince's favorite so-and-so?
I'll pull out the identification. I do have anatomy and everything.
Yeah.
So
He's a mortician. He's used to performing autopsies and everything else.
and I do have the equipment at my place as well.
Equipment would be helpful.
And a safe place to work, also. Plus, if things go wrong and you do not handle it as well, instant access to incineration is a good idea. In which case, we may need Mr. Milliner's help with faking documents and evidence to show that Alicia left of her own free will. We may very well have to lie to the Camarilla in an even darker way to get through this. Because this is a chance for us to go to war that I'm not willing to take. The Hecata do not
But
need
no
to go to war.
pressure.
Oh, all the pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
You
We'll
work
just
best
go in
under
there and
pressure.
scoop it out with my fingernail. We'll be fine.
You work best under pressure. You can handle this.
Best without distraction.
It's time for you to get to know your clan.
I already know.
The rest.
I already know. How many damn friends does anybody really need?
This is more than friends, Hattie. This is family. Speaking of family, the last topic, the main topic that I called you all here tonight for. The phlebotomy center that's being built.
For fuck's sake.
Yes.
No. Strawberry. Go ahead.
It's a dinner table.
I'm sorry, did you have something you wanted to say? Correcting a lady or anything at all?
A lady doesn't use that sort of language.
Fuck you! There. You were saying? I'm not in the mood. We've been talking about this for 2 days straight.
Do you want to handle this?
I don't-
Do you
I
want to
just-
get this accomplished?
I just want to know why half of us are sucking his dick and the other half of us don't want him in town. That's all I want to know.
Here. That is why we're here.
Well, for those of us with MacArthur's dick not in their mouth, the rest of y'all just...
There's a Toreador back in town by the name of Alexander McCarthy. I believe you're working for him, Lorenzo.
Yes.
It's not like he knew.
I'm just saying, y'all accept whatever contracts for whatever money or whatever blood or whatever you can get. But you don't bother to see if it's good for the city. You don't bother to see if it's good for the family. It's just
No,
greed.
That's something we're going to have to take up with Salvador for. Alexander McCarthy was a high-ranking member of the Camarilla up until a few years ago. He was a member of a group within the Camarilla that functions effectively of what this table is right now, the Primogen Council, basically the heads of all the clans. He was the head of the Toreador clan, related to your Miss Anaroma. After he vanished, someone else took his place, and he was assumed victim of something that all of you probably have very little knowledge over, which is something that the other clans are going through right now called the Beckoning. Has anybody heard of the Beckoning? Does anyone need explanation? The Beckoning is... older kindred seem to just be getting up and going east. Some of the connections that I have within the Sabbat have told me that they're going there because they're being summoned by their clan founders. Many of the Sabbat are going there to kill the Camarilla who are going there. McCarthy is said to have been beckoned, but he's back. I don't know what the truth is on that one. If he just took the opportunity and left, I don't know.
Does one even come back from the Beckoning?
I don't know. None of us that I know of have been beckoned. If the rumors are true about it being clan founders, the fact is we don't have one any longer. So that very well could back that up. Cappadocius is dead. Augustus is dead. We have no founder. So, with all that going on, McCarthy is back. Whether he was beckoned or just left, it's not the point. Curiosity? Sure. But the fact is, he's building a blood research center on his property, which is highly damaged. The shroud is in tatters. It barely exists. Any kind of medical anything on that is going to just lead to many people dying. It's going to lead to risen. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term risen, zombies. Straight out, vengeful wraiths inhabiting bodies, coming out and going after whoever they feel wronged them.
That happens.
On occasion. It's rare. But when fresh bodies, such as something that happens in a medical research facility, are in the vicinity of a tattered shroud, yes, that can very much happen. We could also be looking at specters crossing over.
And who do you think they're going to blame? That wonderful camera Latour guy out there who's just trying to help out and making all this money for the city, or us? Who catches the bullet at the end of that deal?
Whoever is known to deal with the dead.
Exactly.
Now, I was speaking with Daniela, who is unfortunately not here at the moment. I really wish she was. But we were discussing what the McCarthy Foundation actually works on, for the most part. And phlebotomy has nothing to do with that company. It has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Whales, mushrooms.
Whales.
Oh, you missed it. Before you came in.
So I was listening.
Yeah, right. Sir.
I was here before anybody else was. No, he pulls out his cell phone, which he looks so awkward holding. The main things that the McCarthy Foundation has been famous for research in is the pithavirus. Does anybody know what the pithavirus is? The pithavirus was found by French researchers. Let's see. It is 500 nanometers in diameter. I know that means nothing to you, but as small as that sounds, that's massive for a virus. They don't get that big. It is about 20 times larger than a standard virus. It's the largest virus ever found. It has 467 distinct genomes. Most only have about a dozen. It was found in a 30,000-year-old sample of Siberian permafrost.
I thought you were going to say coffin or something.
The French researchers are calling it the Methuselah virus, or
Oh my
MK17. It has, as of this point, not infected anyone for over 300,000 years. It is a prehistoric virus that's still alive.
In other words, it's something that nobody in the human race would have any immunity to.
Exactly. They also are known to study spongiform, I can't even pronounce this, BSE, mad cow disease. From what we've been able to see digging through their files, they're seeing this as a cover-all cure. Reason for most of the research, because it has habit of causing rabies-like symptoms in people for a short amount of time, but does not cause the suffocation that rabies tends to cause over a while, the swelling of the lungs. Due to the fact that in the 1980s there was a very large mad cow outbreak in England, and the meat had gotten into the general population, and it can take 40 to 50 years to manifest within humans. They're doing a lot of research trying to figure out a way to cure the virus itself. At least so they say. They do research on Toxoplasmosa gondii. It seems to only reproduce in cats and dogs. The theory that it can be used as a vehicle for other various subjects. Very strange situations on here, but it does tend to cause people to have violent fits. Phytoplasma is another thing they research, which is a bacteria that rewrites DNA in plants, but it may be able to
Sounds like to me.
transfer to humans if modified. Zetpodia percontatoria. Fun. It's a species of wasp that lays eggs in their host, and the larvae control the host using pheromones.
Kind of like the mushroom.
It's the zombie wasp phenomenon.
Pretty much. There's a special interest in Uniratilis, which is a potential use in human anti-infective and anti-cancer agents. And then also, one of the big reasons why I invited Levi, I apologize. Jimson weed. Used to treat asthma, coughs, flu, influenza, swine flu, and nerve diseases. Side effects include hallucinations and heightened senses of well-being, euphoria. Active substance is atropine, hyothiamine, and scopolamine. That is what the McCarthy system looks into, as well as various species of marine life. Does that mean anything to anyone here?
It's a recipe. Literally, he's got all the components
To make
create
something?
a lot of somethings. A whole city worth of somethings.
As Daniela puts it, pharmaceutical zombies. He's creating these things that are completely immune to all of our oblivion practices.
You ever see that movie, I Am Legend, Will Smith? They had the doctor that tried to cure cancer, but then the medicine ended up turning the entire population into zombies.
I'm more of a classic.
See, I
zombie
prefer
guy.
the Omega Man, the original story for that. It actually turned them into vampires.
Well, I guess the question is what happens if the vampires can only drink blood that McCarthy is producing because everything else
That's
is
the
toxic.
thing, though. It creates a strong, lethargic, and loyal worker. He's not doing anything supernatural. At least from what we're able to see. I am interested, however, on why DeLuca Giovanni is looking for Jimson weed.
I wish I knew. He just appeared, as he has on, like I said, maybe a handful of occasions. Maybe a little more. I mean, like I said, time is not my strong suit. But I wasn't even awake yet. Like, I arrived for the day, and he was just there, and he was demanding this and throwing money on the counter and stuff. I
How
wish
much
I
did
had
he
more
order?
information. He didn't
Ounce,
say he didn't even say an
pounds.
amount. He said get some.
He threw money at you.
Can I
Yes.
get fucking? I really wish there was a memory roll. Hey, World of Darkness, make up some kind of memory roll.
That'd be
Wits and
helpful.
awareness.
I got some
That
of
would be
those.
helpful.
It would be. There should be a memory roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at
While
it
you're
too.
looking
Oh, I
at
got
Can
rid
I
of
get
one
my
of my
sheet?
hunger, right?
Can I get my sheet?
Yes.
You said that
No sheet for you.
through drinking, I would have.
You
Oh,
would
yeah.
you would have gotten
Right.
rid of one.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know no better, and of course I'm just that looks delicious. Put that in my face.
Restroom really quick. Thank you.
A lot.
A lot.
7.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He told you a pound.
Oh, he did say a pound.
He did.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. Oh. A pound? Yeah.
How?
That's not much.
Yeah, he
I'm
asked for a pound.
Not
Sorry,
happy.
I'm not trying to.
Oh, you're good.
I'm not happy with the concept of coincidences. McCarthy shows up. He's building a blood research facility that's looking into all of these different things that throughout various methods have the ability to create what we create, but non-supernaturally. And DeLuca Giovanni is asking for one of the things at the exact same time.
And
Tom.
another Hecata's more or less his bodyguard, and another Hecata, yeah.
Tommy looks up and goes, DeLuca and McCarthy showed up at our offices like a week ago with Anaroma.
It is no coincidence that he is surrounding himself with Hecata that way.
It's understandable that they hired Lorenzo. It's what Lorenzo does.
Fair.
It's a non-political extension that they can speak freely in front of. They don't have to masquerade up or anything.
That's one.
Mr. Milliner, why did they show up at your offices?
That's two.
Sorry.
Tommy says that...
The Anaroma, you mean?
Yes, Tommy says that along with Anaroma, Alexander McCarthy and DeLuca Giovanni both showed up at your office at the same night.
There's three.
That's correct.
Tommy puts his hand on your back and he's like, that was the night he had his heart attack. I'm not really sure he's going to have much recollection. He's helicopter momming around you again, Paul. He's trying to speak for you.
3 Hecatas, not a coincidence. Particularly when you have the formula to legitimately make zombies.
Technically 5 if you count Sal.
6 if you count Levi.
'Cause
This feels like we're being fucked. It feels like that. And I have not been wrong about shit that feels that way.
Especially when it comes to McCarthy.
So you're saying we can actually be infected by what they're creating?
I'm not sure about us.
It seems like he's setting us up to take the blame for something.
That's that. And he's got enough of us working for him or with him or around him that it's very easy to have a whole lot of chumps to point a finger at the end of the day. But any one of us that steps the wrong way, and we've blown this whole Camarilla thing. Blown it.
He has more than half a dozen research teams around the world looking into various ways to chemically induce the state. If DeLuca Giovanni is working with him, which Lorenzo, that's the guy you picked up at the hotel, with him.
He
If
is.
he is.
I picked him up earlier today and dropped him off at the construction site.
So they're there now.
Yes.
So he has over half a dozen varieties of ways of chemically inducing the state, and he has our blood. Our blood, which induces that state. But supernaturally.
The shroud is so thin where he's building this place that we're effectively useless over there anyway. Can you imagine if he has 15, 20, 50 wraiths and 6 of them on us over there?
Heck, you could use them as battery power for the experiment.
And he does. They're fencing material, they're free labor. Does anybody bother to check into the population? Like your own food source? Humans are missing at a higher rate than normal. Males.
Hey,
No,
Big ones.
yeah.
What's the rate that their bodies are turning up at Magi?
You haven't really received many bodies from people who have gone missing. Not in a while. Not, I mean,
Not they're enough. for
more
ours.
people are going missing than are showing up somewhere else. But it's also mostly the homeless population. The tent cities. Because so many people are losing their houses because of the cost of living going up. Paul. Out of character. Well, in character, out of character. Tommy leans in and I forgot. I was going to say something and then I started talking to... never mind.
Tommy leans in and whispers into my ear.
I can't remember.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Wow, I just lost a whole freaking thing there. Getting old.
Train of thought has been derailed.
Happens.
Right?
Also, you're exhausted today.
That is true.
It'll come to you when you go to do the recap and you play the audio. You'll remember. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on what to do here without breaching our agreement with the Ivory Tower.
What is this agreement?
We do not get involved in their politics. They do not get involved in ours.
Oh, okay.
That is it. Because technically, McCarthy is doing nothing wrong by Camarilla standards. He owns property. He is building on that property. He's not doing anything political with DeLuca that we know of. And he's not using any kind of masquerade breaching techniques to fulfill his goals.
There's no laws against making us all look like assholes either. That's exactly what's going to happen.
He could very well just be antagonizing us to make us slip up.
Possible.
Well, that's an awful lot of shit to go and do
They're
just to make
expensive
us
shit, yeah.
look like a bunch of assholes.
And that's a thing too. I could just be taking this personally. I have issues with McCarthy. Hattie
I'm
has
taking
issues
it personally.
with McCarthy.
Every time I see one of my family running around doing something from McCarthy's ass, I take it personally. Business is business. But you young kiddos down here, you have to learn to read a room. You have to learn to know who you're working for. Especially when we're getting into bed with the camera like this. Because when you're over there, when you're one of their bitches, if you make a mistake, you don't get to stand up and go, no, I didn't know any better. They execute you for dumb shit. I would expect Sal would know better. But he's thinking about this.
Plus, it's not his ass on the line.
There's that too.
Sal likes jobs when his ass isn't the one hanging out.
But yeah, it could just be nothing. Some people just collect spores, molds, and fungus. Can anybody see on the other side? Has anybody been down there?
Not my set of expertise.
It is a sight.
I can tell you about what's going on this side.
I know what's going on both sides, my love. Both sides.
What exactly have you seen while you've been in the construction site?
I've seen the workers, and they're exactly how you describe.
Nobody's home.
Yeah. At first, I thought it. Honestly, until tonight, I just assumed that he borrowed use of someone who has Oblivion and created a bunch of zombies to work on the construction during the night.
He has
How did
DeLuca,
Kay do the look?
but he
No,
has
no.
DeLuca.
They don't.
No.
They're just not in control of their own impulses.
The chemically induced are their higher functions are turned off, but they're still alive. They are highly suggestible. They
Yeah.
follow orders if anybody just knows their name.
It's pretty much a
They-
remote control, high functioning working machine.
Yes.
They kind of do. You tell them to paint a wall, they'll paint a wall, but you're going to still have to get someone to come in and do the fine details later.
Yeah.
That's kind of how they are right now.
Well, I assume we're seeing them, these drones.
There's a lot of them.
I assume we're seeing these drones working at night and the actual crew coming in during the day.
What's their? Well, have you ever seen anything? What's their ability in terms of strength?
They're people.
And there's
They're
a
just
lot.
humans.
They could always turn off
I
the
I've
limiters of the
Seeing
human
them
brain.
go and pick up bags of cement.
I do not know, however, what our blood could do for them if you could ghoul them at the same time. But I don't know if that would force the chemicals through their brains.
Have
if
I
it would
seen
ignore it.
any of them like picking up 5 or 6 bags?
You haven't
of
noticed
cement?
anything? You haven't noticed anything, but most of the time they just kind of do things one thing at a time.
Yeah. They're pretty simple-minded. They just kind of...
They probably can't count to know to pick up 5 or 6 bags. What do we do about this?
I'm open to suggestions.
I'm open for suggestions.
I already mentioned, very accidentally, to Aunt Aroma that this may be something going on. Anya was there. Oh no, Anya, we talked about how to talk about it, so she didn't physically go, but
I don't believe that you should stop working for McCarthy. If anything, just so we can see where he is, what he's doing.
you could suck at your job a little bit if somebody tries to assassinate him, though.
I gotcha.
What?
Oh, I've always been brought up to believe that a contract is a contract, but at the same time, I don't fuck over family.
Well, at the same
So-
time, we don't necessarily know if he has any means in which to use this shit on us, too.
Hopefully not.
We know it works on humans. It's very obvious he's
So-
using it for that effect. But
Question is, not to interrupt you, if Sal knows more about this shit than what he's letting on, other than just hiring me for a job, what do we do about Sal?
Let this play out first. Find out if Sal knows anything.
I mean, he's my sire, and I don't...
I understand. I understand.
He may be an asshole, but he is still family.
honestly, I think even if Sal kind of knows what's going on, the idea that there are going to be hundreds or thousands of people affected by this has probably eluded his grasp. He's not a big picture kind of guy.
No.
Now, you said yourself that you had dropped them off at the Penny Diners Club as well.
Yes. Before I came here, though, they asked me to drop them off at the construction site.
We need to find out if the Toreador clan in Portland has anything to do with this other than just McCarthy. And I do believe that's where you're coming in, Mr. Milliner.
You want me to talk to Anna?
I want you to keep your ears open. I am concerned greatly that there is a member of our clan who is embracing without permission for his own means, which puts you in a terrible position.
Yeah, I haven't really felt good about this the whole time, to be
Well, he
honest.
killed you, that's
Yeah,
understandable.
it's a little...
He knew better than to come to either of us and ask for anything. We'd ask, what's that for? But his child, he could ask for anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's slick. Shitty, but slick.
Clatter.
Say it
The
again.
veggie platter.
Oh, yeah.
The
Have a carrot.
That was like, yes.
the homeless situation, the disappearances, find out if there's any of the funeral homes in the area. I know that they tend to travel in the same circles, but they tend to share trade secrets. You should see if there's been an influx in work on their end, Valentino. Make sure that we're not just overlooking something here. This is not something that we can go in with half the information on. I have no doubt that whatever people are missing are being used in this situation, but we need to find out before accusations fly. I'm going to get you your Jimson, as I said I would. Give it to DeLuca.
Should I ask any questions in this process? Or
Would you
just-
normally?
I mean, probably not. He gave me money. I mean, that's...
Do what you do. Don't change anything that you would typically do, other than if he asks for anything else, please let me know. You know where you can find me, or at least individuals that I trust. But I'm concerned that DeLuca is either being used or is outright helping him in this situation.
What would DeLuca stand to gain from helping him?
I don't know.
I mean, I think that's the fill in the blank that I'm missing too.
Well,
We know what he gains. We know what they gain. But what does DeLuca get? He's not particularly interested in money.
he has it.
Right. I mean, there's honestly got to be a really good reason.
All I know,
Blackmail, something.
all I know about DeLuca is that he's a hedonist.
I can't think of any part of hedonism that says turn my city into The Walking Dead. At all.
I wonder, has anyone here worked with DeLuca?
No.
I can tell you that he is demanding and he gets what he wants.
Is DeLuca training you when it comes to disciplines?
I mean, I figured some things out. Most nights, I mean, to be honest, like this happened, you know, I've got Alba running the shop and stuff, so I kind of get up and I've got the shop to myself. I've got, you know, I just kind of play.
I thought Sal was a shitty sire.
I mean, to be honest, this is what I did as a human. Not much has changed. Only now, I can legit see the ghosts. It's cool.
So if you need an errand
Interact
runner,
with them
way
and
embrace.
So you can see the ghosts.
Yeah. I mean, there's, you know, Somebody was talking to you earlier.
Discipline branches.
Okay.
The various abilities that we have. They tend to be taught sire to child or carried over in the blood when it comes to instinctive learning, which you seem to be doing. What are you capable of? Like, what have you done that's different since your embrace?
I mean, like I said, now I can see the ghost.
Okay. That's a discipline known as auspex to us.
Oh, okay, cool.
They do have names.
They
what
have names.
else can you do? You can apparently, thus far, sense the unseen.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Because, like, I turn it on and off. You know, you don't always want to see all that stuff.
DeLuca has been around for several decades.
Okay.
So I am assuming that since you were embraced by him directly without involvement of the rest of the Hecata, that you most likely have some classic Giovanni gifts.
I don't know what that means.
Increased strength, discipline of potence, the ability to control people.
Don't.
You found out you were a vampire and you didn't run around trying to bend bars and fly.
Is that
Don't
what
Isn't that what most
try to
people
fly.
do?
Don't,
Is that what vampires do?
don't
Some
try.
Increase
people-
physical or mental durability?
Don't try to fly. You can't. We don't do that.
That sounds dumb.
There was a kid in California, I'll tell you about that another time.
Can you
Not my kid.
can you interact with the unliving?
I mean,
As in you can raise a corpse?
Do you have any necromantic capabilities, I think, is what Valentino's trying to say.
It's unlikely you've tried. Would
I
that
mean,
be
I
accurate?
talked to, I've gone and had some conversations with some ghosts that I don't know if they really talk back so much. I mean, it might be a one-way conversation. I don't know. Sometimes, like, certain objects glow. Like, that's weird. I don't know what's up with that.
They glow.
Kinda. Like, I don't know.
Binding fetter.
Yeah.
You might be able to see objects that are attached to wraiths, like emotionally.
Well, that's kind of fascinating. That's pretty cool.
Anything else?
I mean, that's really all I've...
I'm wondering if you might have the ability to tell the strength of the shroud itself. The membrane in between the land of the living and the land of the dead. Because if you're learning on your own, and you're not just picking up haphazard shadow sorcery, then it might be something that DeLuca can do.
Almost certainly.
So if DeLuca can tell whether or not the shroud is damaged, he might be telling Alexander exactly where to build.
I mean,
Didn't even think about that.
Are you able to
I
manipulate
think-
darkness itself?
I mean, like I said, really what I've been doing with this is I just kind of wander around and I'm like, where are there ghosts in the city? Turns out they're everywhere. Like, seriously.
If the dead were on this side of the shroud, the city would have one hell of a population problem.
Yeah. So sometimes, like, I've gone to places and it's looked different. I don't know. Is that what you're talking about?
Can anybody else here sense where the shroud is thinnest?
That's not my field of expertise, unfortunately.
I can find fetters, and apparently one of the first things Sal taught me was by putting some blood on a body, I can make the body disappear.
Ashes to ashes.
That's handy.
That was one of our gifts that we gave to them.
In my line of work, it does come in handy.
I can understand that.
I can do necromancy and somehow manipulate shadows.
You have the obtenebration gifts. all of us have access to it. Just most of us have learned to hone the powers a little bit stronger than the La Sombra tend to.
I can send somebody to literally just sit and stare at the property and record everything that they do while we sleep.
Might be a good idea to have eyes during the day.
Yeah. Be better if we could throw an animal in there every now and then. Anybody? No, maybe.
An animal?
I know they don't translate over as well, but it's way less suspicious than just having, random folks in the neighborhood pulling up lawn chairs, sitting staring.
It's true. I'll be able to get you the Jim Sim on Monday.
I think that's what you told me, and I think that's what I told DeLuca.
Good.
Yeah, let me phone. Yeah.
We'll keep that as planned. There's not much he can do with a pound of Jim Sim. It doesn't make any sense.
It did seem like a lot of money for a pound of anything.
Yeah, it's not a legal product. The price doesn't concern me. What concerns me is the amount, because it's not enough to fulfill what we're talking about.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
But it's also a strange item to
What
ask
if we're
for.
wrong, and he really is doing all of this and dumping all that money into the research for just a handful of folks he's real pissed at?
Like, this is just a malicious attack against us.
I'm not even saying us. I'm saying there could be 1 or 5 people that he's specifically interested in.
Because you were saying he was in this camera something thing.
Yes, he was a Primogen, one of their clan leaders.
And the fact remains, if you live long enough, you are eventually just going to hate some son of a bitch enough that when you save up $500,000, you will just throw it down the toilet to watch them burn. That's just a fact, because we have very little to do as time goes on.
Well, what would a phlebotomy lab have to do with any kind of revenge?
You're asking me to think
Like,
the way that
we're
man
talking-
thinks, and you know I cannot.
What I was able to find going through the material that we were able to get offline was cancer research, blood disease cures.
Well,
Very
cancer-
strange, but
Cancer is it's a disease that consumes. It
Yes.
eats and eats and eats and eats, and that's all it does. And then you're talking about other things, other types of diseases. So if you can get all these crazy, scary elements from these various diseases, the highly communicable, the rage, the eat, like if you can get all of that, you have a handful of zombies that go absolutely batshit crazy for 3-4 days, and then the problem takes care of itself because they decompose. I'm spitballing because I do not understand why
No.
he's even back, let alone pulling all this crap with our family.
No, that is actually a good idea, except for the fact that we're talking about living subjects.
If you can speed up the cancer process. Or if the cancer cells
So
just focus
create
on
a bunch of, as Daniela put it, pharmaceutical zombies.
basically.
Give them all cancer, have them attack, and then they die.
In the old country, well, yes, for lack of a better explanation to simplify, I don't have all the medical research for that, but it would make sense and be plausible. And back in the old country, it was just a handful of ingredients anyhow, so pharmaceutical zombies is very plausible.
It's
Absolutely
possible. It's possible with what they're putting research into. We're looking at insects that control hosts through pheromones.
Correct.
We're looking at fungus that
Mind-altering.
takes over the brain and puts its subjects into dangerous situations. We're looking at making people incredibly suggestive. It all checks out. That is all 100% possible. That is not something that surprises me whatsoever.
And a super bacteria that's big and strong and beefy, and then all the other diseases that are highly transmittable through a multitude of different
What if these are all just him researching into possibles?
Yeah, he could just be spitballing. I mean, he could absolutely be doing nothing. Fact is that this is not a man of no action, and you know that. It's not like we're sitting here talking about Sal's taking up a new hobby and he wants to know absolutely everything there is to know about cannibalism. Well, okay. Or if Scott's like, I want to be a golfer and just started learning all about golf. We're talking about...
Scott laughs.
We're talking about Alistair, who's a psycho. This man is a psycho. He's not just sitting there learning possibilities. He's trying to figure out the best way to ram all of us up the ass. And you know it, and I know it, and now these gentlemen know it. So whatever they do when we leave here tonight, whatever they choose to do for our family or for their own personal greed, that's on them.
I think everybody is on the same boat at this point in
I
time.
don't know. I feel like some people already knew that he was a jackass and just continued on, but... But what do I know?
Has anybody here
I'm new here.
Has anybody here other than myself and Hattie had any experience working with or opposed to McCarthy before these events?
The only thing I knew about him coming into the job that it was that he used to be a bigwig with the cam.
I barely know the guy.
And that's about all Sal told me.
He was kind of a bigwig in human society back in the day also. Had a name for himself.
Yeah,
He's never been a small man.
as an illegal slave runner after the emancipation.
Oh, so he's a special type of human scum.
Yes,
Very special.
that's how we know him.
And the fact that he's still running his own slave business just on the other side sickens me. To a degree I cannot express to you.
Most of the workers, out of character information for Lorenzo, most of the workers have been black, Hispanic. You don't see many white people actually working there.
Are they all like big burly men?
Yeah.
Does anybody like Anna Roma besides me?
You like Anna Roma?
You know, I'm just fine with her.
What did she do to you?
What did she do to me? Who knows? Some people I like, some people I immediately don't. You know me. You've known me for years. You know, I'm just fine with her. I wonder what's in it for her.
That's another situation here. Anna Roma. Anna Roma is the harpy and primogen of Clan Toreador. Or the Camarilla.
What's a harpy?
Harpies are, they are heralds for the prince. They do the announcing. They also keep track of who owes who what, so that there's no domestic disputes between the kindred, keeping fights down to a minimum.
It's honestly not bad position to have.
We will discuss
I mean,
needing
when
one.
it's actually, if they were actually doing just that as their job.
The major thing, though, is Anna Roma is being involved in the Penny Dining Club, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing?
Penny Dining Club is effectively a restaurant for vampires.
We have restaurants?
We have
this
this
one.
one. Yes.
Okay.
Can
It's kind of a new
you
thing.
can confirm this, correct, Mr. Milliner? You've been working with Anna Roma on this one? Anna Roma does not own the Penny Diners Club. Her child does. So is she just taking advantage of the fact that her child set something up? Or is she involved in this situation with McCarthy as well? She recently has come into power as Primogen. Her sire was the Primogen before she took over, and he was Primogen since McCarthy left. her sire is gone. Left the city.
Do we have any Toreador that we especially enjoy the company of or socialize with that we could just chit chat?
I don't know what a Toreador is.
Fair enough.
Toreador, just another family of vampires, another clan. I don't know how many are left in the Camarilla, in Portland. So many Kindred have just decided to move on to other cities.
So far we count 3.
Okay. Do we know
Counting
anybody?
McCarthy, yes.
Do we know anybody that likes any of us that's just super duper nosy who might have heard anything at all that could be of interest? Do you guys just honestly only hang out with other Hecata?
I just usually keep to my work.
It's best to keep our
I
noses
will-
clean.
I will see what I can dig up with my snake buddy, but he's probably just as on the outs as we are.
True, considering the fact that he's Anarch.
Right.
We do have at least one Anarch member that we can go and talk to. That is useful. But how much is he going to know?
Probably not much.
Do you think he's capable
Oh,
of finding out?
he's resourceful. Clever. But you know, so is McCarthy, so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, when you're dealing with a vampire of that particular age and skill level, when we start digging, he's going to hear about it immediately.
Does anyone have Daniela's phone number?
Actually, I think she gave it to me.
Would you mind seeing where she is? Because she should have been here hours ago.
Send her a text message.
No
Would you like
answer.
me to- I was going to say, would you like me to do that out of character?
Yes, out of
Yes?
character. There's no reason to drag Evelyn into this since she wouldn't be able to answer anyway.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you wanted me to go text
That
her.
and she's
and I was
probably
like,
asleep. I don't
Yeah, I'm
know
not
what the
sure
time
what the
difference
time
is.
12 hours maybe?
Oh, she might just be waking up now.
Good morning. Would you like to run a scene? Where are you going?
England, right? London, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. We don't need to text her. But
I'm just looking it up.
5 hours. Is the
5 hour
time
difference.
difference
Okay.
ahead of us.
Oh, so it's late,
So it
late
is
there.
4:30.
4:30 p.m.
Let's all
Roughly.
text Evelyn.
Yeah. there-
Yes.
With all text. Wake her up.
All of us text Evelyn 15 seconds apart from each other.
Hey,
Are we all
Hey.
sending pictures of Shaq?
I'm just so
There was a situation in the old game at the LARP where like people were like stealthily sending photos of Shaq like from unknown numbers.
To one particular player. Everyone would like give
What?
They
each other-
started it.
would give that player's number to everybody and then just be like, send a Shaq photo.
Just
Wow.
pictures of Shaquille O'Neal. Just
Okay.
It sounds like a Bohemian prank.
it was Kane.
Wish I still had
We had a
Kate's
player
number.
named Kane.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm judging you right now. but
No,
yeah,
we had
okay,
a player
that makes more
named
sense.
Kane, and they started just like harassing me every day, sending me these photos of freaking Shaquille O'Neal, and then I found out who it was. So I gave their phone number to everybody and started telling them
Wow.
to send Shaq photos,
That is fair play.
Shaq gifts. You know,
Fair play.
At least it was Shaq photos. I mean,
It could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
all right.
All right. I think I'm gonna drag Dollface over here down in the shop, give you a handful of books, and when you're done or bored, we'll trade them out for something else. Is there anything else you wanted to cover? Since we're kind of out of ideas. And
I would like all of us to try to keep track of our young, as I was saying before. A group tutelage We have Levy here. We have Paul and Daniela. Which Crow looks suddenly pissed. But before he can say anything, Whistler is, Crow, I understand that you are doing a fine job teaching Daniela everything that she needs to know, but you have an outlook, and that's what I want to teach. I want everyone to be able to be well versed in the other families, not just yours. That is not a slight against the Harbingers.
Alright, so we'll swing by the bookstore. So I have to get you some books, and then you guys are...
Whenever
wanting
you're okay
to
and
run
start
over
doing
s-
working,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We could run down to the...
Try to find
morgue
out
and-
if Levy here has any natural necromantic abilities. That will help us narrow down what DeLuca might be able to do.
Okay, I have a plan. I mean, we have to head over to the morgue anyway, right?
mm-hmm.
There's plenty of things to pop stuff into. See if she can do that. We'll go
You can take
hard
your
and
pick.
go down.
Try to not draw that much attention or anything.
He said we could use the morgue. Did you not?
For a price.
What is that you're doing there?
I'm actually need.
Valentine.
Just messing with you. Yeah, take your pick of the wall.
Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna come and we're gonna work on her, and then while we're working on her, she can practice.
He,
While we're working on
Her.
her over there. Okay.
Right. You can do whatever
Alicia.
you need to do to try to figure out corpse fun time.
I don't really like that idea, to be honest.
We just
Like,
want to see what you're capable of, not specifically teach you anything.
No, but the thing is, corpses?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the ghosts come out of.
Some
when
of
the ghosts
us-
come out, they become corpses. When you
Some
put
of
the
us
ghosts
have a
back in, they're
natural
not.
ability to raise them.
I don't think I like that.
You don't have to do it. We just want to know if you can.
I don't think I want to know if I can.
We need to know. Because we don't
That
want
sounds like really gross.
we don't want you to accidentally do it.
Okay, that's
Can you
a
accidentally?
good
do
argument.
You can accidentally do a lot of stupid things.
Fair enough.
I think in the first 45 to 65 years, we do all the stupid
Oh,
things
yes.
by accident. All of them.
We definitely have access to an array of abilities that can very well fuck us up.
Yeah, I remember the first time I tried opening a door and not knowing how to control potents.
Exactly.
Opened the door, didn't you?
Oh yeah, they remained open until I replaced the door.
Happens to the best of us.
Has anyone ever accidentally dominated a retainer?
What?
Nah.
No.
Like kinky sex games or
Oh god.
No, accidentally said something that was not meant to be taken as an order, something that was meant to be taken in jest, and the person just mindlessly completed the task regardless of the fact that you didn't actually need to tell them to do it.
that's a thing that
Like
some
you
of
try
us can
to
do.
say it in a figurative speech and they do it literally.
Or you get frustrated and you just go, just drop it. And they literally
They
drop
drop
what
it.
they're holding. Yeah.
With a very expensive vase that cuts.
Either way, I think we all have a good amount of things to do, and the morning is getting early. So, why don't we all disperse? Keep this little meeting to ourselves.
I shall have the place ready for tomorrow.
Excellent.
And I will get back to you on Monday.
Thank you.
So we have a date at the morgue tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should exchange numbers or something.
You already have mine.
I don't have yours.
Yeah.
I actually was not interested in interacting with you when you got nasty with him in the car.
It is what it is.
And then I saw you with fuckface, and that was just strike two. So let's try again.
I'm just gonna reach into my wallet and hand you a business card.
Oh, how fancy. Look at that. It's very white. Eggshell, if you will. Just slip it into her bag. And how would I contact you, or did you just want to stop by the shop at your convenience?
You don't know how there's a pocket in what he's wearing. You're really not sure. You just see him kind of slide, hands kind of down the leg.
Are you wearing a utility kilt?
Utility.
You can't see
That's
the
the
pocket.
brand of
That's a
my
great
Just hand
jeans.
disappears for a minute.
It's like a khaki kilt. It's got pockets.
A black
Cargo.
Produces
khaki.
a
Yeah.
Okay.
black
I
Cargo
actually
kilt.
wanted to get
with white lettering, has the shop's name, has a phone
Still
number.
can't pronounce it.
You can't pronounce it. It's it's Latin, or trying to be. It's not sure. And Levi Strauss underneath. And yeah, you can reach me at the
Another
shop.
business card.
Yeah.
Look how white this is.
It's black.
Is that what I meant?
Oh, you mean the
have
action
a
of having a
whole
business card.
Mess of business cards now. You know, I used
I
to
don't
know
recommend you go to Japan. man.
everybody on the block. I used to know their phone number by heart. Just dial it away.
That, or if you were curious,
Now
there's a
it's
phone book.
all. No, well, before that, yeah. Now it's all
Your
just on
age
my
is
phone.
showing, Hattie.
I'm going. We said all we need to say here. It's
you
just gonna
tomorrow.
get ugly from here. Okay, tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
9, 10. What's better for you?
Sun sets at 9.
I'm up at 10.
10 it is.
All right. We'll disperse and we'll meet again after you have all had a chance to accomplish something in this. Each of the tasks that I've given.